John Bolton was the United States ambassador to the United Nations under President George W. Bush, and now he's a fellow with the American Enterprise Institute. So, Ambassador, it turns out that the people with the Death to America chants, they were a problem, and even Saudi Arabia felt they were a problem, and now they're bombing them, and they're fighting a proxy for Iran, and we're kind of supporting the Saudis, but in Iraq we're working with Iran, so we're kind of bombing Iran, and Saudi Arabia are supporting those who are, but then we're working with Iran in Iraq, and the White House is doing the line from Animal House, which is, remain calm, all is well. All right, do I have it about right?
Yeah, well, I would say incoherent would be a polite way to describe the administration. You know, the al-Houthi have been a surrogate for Iran for many years, but in the past several months, they've effectively taken over Sana'a, the capital. The government of Yemen has ceased to function. I think it ceased to exist as a state. And it now hosts this surrogate for Iran at the back door of Saudi Arabia and the other oil-producing Arab monarchies.
Let me just stop you there. Let me just stop you there to make sure everybody's with us. So basically, our U.S.-backed government in Yemen collapsed, and these Houthis took over, the Death to America people. Jen Psaki came on the Kelly File and said, don't worry about that. Don't worry about them. Actions speak louder than words. You know, that's just bluster, basically, is what she told me. And then the next thing we know, our ally, Saudi Arabia, starts bombing them. So it seems like they're worried about the actions there.
Well, they should have. If anything, the Saudis, I think, waited too long because Yemen is a threat not only due to the Houthi, but, of course, to al-Qaeda in the Arabian Peninsula.
There's a third actor that we need to worry about, and that's one of the most lethal terror groups in the world, and who knows what's happening with them. Maybe they're the ones reading through our private documents that we left behind at the embassy.
Right, or they could be trading them. I mean, all of this really now becomes acutely important because of the deal that the White House is about to sign with Iran on the nuclear weapons program, which will give, in effect, a license to Iran to continue to proceed with uranium enrichment and the other activity that won't even be covered by the deal that's critical to weaponization. So when you have that in Iran's arsenal, you have the al-Houthi at the Arabs' back door. This is trouble.
Do you really think that, you know, the Iranians are going to hold it against us, that we're kind of backing this Saudi thing against the Iranian folks in Yemen? Because we're working with the Iranians against ISIS in Iraq. So it's like, you know, one hand does the one, and the other hand, like, I'm sure the Ayatollah will understand.
Look, the Iranians are playing us for fools. They have taken us to the cleaners on these negotiations over the nuclear program. We are now functioning, in effect, as the Air Force for the Shia militia in Iraq. The government of Baghdad is, like the al-Houthi, effectively a surrogate for the Ayatollahs.
I don't even know what you're saying. It just seems like, aren't we on all different sides of the conflict, depending on what country we're talking about? And isn't it the truth that Yemen is nowhere close to a success, nowhere close?
Well, let's not forget Somalia either. The president named two countries. The government in Yemen has collapsed. The state has ceased to exist. Somalia has not had an effective government in 25 years. So I think the president is still following the ideology that terrorism is not a threat.
Okay. I think we managed to wade through it. I mean, it's so confusing, but I think that the term you should walk away with is hot mess. Great to see you, Ambassador Bolton.
Thank you.